So on today's lecture, we're gonna talk about Nazis' effect on art during World War II. More importantly, we're gonna focus on Monument Men and Richard Strauss. So artwork during Nazi rule had no freedom of speech. There were those who sought to protect artwork that had different expressions than the Third Reich, and those who had to bow down to their tyranny in order to protect their families. During the Holocaust, the definition of art was drastically changed due to Nazis destroying and manipulating Jew and German artists that attempted to ruin the image of the Third Reich. In this lecture, we'll be discussing about the Monuments Men. So the Monuments Men and Women were a group of approximately 345 men and women from 14 nations, most of whom volunteered for service in the newly created monuments, fine arts, and archives, which is in short MFAA, section during World War II. Their only job was simple, is to protect cultural treasures so far as war allowed. We're also going to be looking at the life of Richard Strauss. He is born in June 11, 1864 in Munich, Germany, and he's an outstanding German romantic composer of the late 19th and early 20th century. So, during Nazi rule, an estimated $20 billion of art in art was destroyed. Nearly half of it came from Polish artists, which is approximately around 500,000. Artwork destroyed consisted of sculptures, paintings, and manuscripts. We'll be discussing a man named George Stout. He's one of America's foremost experts in the field of art conservation. One day he received a call from Walter Hancock. He told Stout that he was at a mine with 400,000 tons of explosive in it, and it may be even more important than Siegen, which is another mine that contained works of art and treasures. Because of the precarious conditions at the depository, the army ordered its evacuation. With the coronation paraphernalia going to headquarters and everything else moved to the place of safety, Stout was ordered to go to Bernte Road to give technical advice on the removal of the artworks and other historical holdings. When Hancock and Stout went into the mine and reviewed the treasures on May 1st, Stout observed that the Germans were hiding the most precious artifacts of the German military state. Two shifts of soldiers working daily for 3 days packed paintings, flags, and other textiles into 180 packages and 40 bundles. Um, Walter Hancock and George Stout sought to save the art history and whatever freedom of expression they could during the destruction under Nazi rule. Another person we'll be discussing would be Richard Strauss. He was a German artist during World War II and was seen as one of the best composers of the time. He was personally touched by the evil of the Nazis, and he was deeply fond of his Jewish daughter-in-law, Alice, and his Jewish grandchildren, and was aghast when Alice was arrested towards the end of World War II. So Strauss was forced to compose the music that he didn't believe identified his country of or himself. Um, Nationalist music was affected greatly in Germany after World War II, and and in conclusion, art was not only destroyed during World War II by the Nazis, it was also dictated on the message the art could convey. This has caused a ripple effect around the world, but this is even more prominent in Germany today. Um, yeah, that would be it. Thank you.